Hey everyone, isn't that a magnificent backdrop there? Stormy cloud with the sun hitting the church. So I've come for a little ride on my bike. I am in Malmö in Sweden, and I'll just cycled past this and it absolutely struck me with complete beauty. Just the way that the light was facing it and the contrast between the dark skies and the light of the church. So some of you may know, they may have seen a video before. I went to Germany 2 years ago, and I remember doing a video from there. And I am someone who's attracted to graveyards. I always have been, and for the complete and utter reason of I find them quite beautiful, very peaceful, very restful. There's lots of love that's left here. They're always clean. You can see pretty flowers, spring flowers are beginning to come through, and I often think of my own mortality when I'm in them, and that is a good thing. You know, if we live to 90 years of age, that's just under 33,000 days. So I worked out the other day exactly how old I am, because I am 44 and a half. So that's 16,000, whatever, 16,300 and something days. And it would be great to live to 90. I had 3 grandparents who lived to 90 and beyond. 91 and 92, and Nana was a week shy of her 93rd birthday. My grandfather passed away when he was, Grandfather Hill, my dad's dad, passed away when I think he was about 62, 63, hi Betty. And my father passed away at 57. And I lead a very different life to my father, almost anti-modelled his life. I have a very simple life, really. He had 4 children. I don't have any children yet. Maybe I shall. But it makes me think of what will go on my gravestone. How would I like it written? And you can do this for yourself, you know. What would you like written there? There's Emil Nilsson and Frida Nilsson. And look how many years later that person died. So Emil died in 1942. Oh, look, on his birthday, on his 51st birthday, he passed away, 51. And she was 8 years younger, and she lived to be 80. She lived a long time without him. Wow, nearly, yeah. So she was 42, so she lived nearly as long by herself than with him. I love looking at this. This lady here, Ingrid, lived 20 years later than Elof Olsen. So what would you like to have written on yours? Often I go to, very optimistic, I go to 106 years old, which will take me to 20,080. Sometimes that doesn't seem like 20,080, that would go quite quick. 20,080, we're already nearly 2020 already. What would you love to experience? What things would you like to say? On these they don't say a lot because they're quite old. On modern graves they'll say, you know, they'll have an epitaph or you know, a short saying about their life or something. What would you love to have on yours? What would you love to have it say? Do you wish to be married? Do you wish to have children? contrast of that church and the sky. And then you can design your life. There's a client that I won't say anything that'll be anything that will break confidentiality. But I've worked with this client for some time. They're an amazing client. Built up an incredible business in the heart of in London, and this business is now worth several £1 million. And they talked to me about a limiting belief they had, and they didn't realise it was a limiting belief. And they talked about that they would be passing away. I think it was as young as sometime in their 60s, and this person's in their 40s now. And they're really intelligent, and they've got a multi-million pound business. And I remember saying, picking them up on their limiting belief, and they kind of laughed. And it's, if you think that you're not going to live to a great age, my father didn't. He'd always go, no. What do you mean no? He'd point and go, I'll be, what, you'd be in the upstairs bedroom? What? Self-fulfilling prophecy. He felt he really would die early, and he did. Elvis thought the same, apparently. Did you know that? I think Elvis's father, I believe, died of a heart attack. What did Elvis die of? A heart attack. It was either his mother or his father. And they died early, and he felt he would as well. So cram as much into their Enneagram Type 3 life. Enneagram Type 3 with a 2 wing, which is about being the best and got to succeed and push forward. And the 2 part of them wants to help. He used to give away Cadillacs to people, free Cadillacs. But that's not the very healthy part of the Enneagram Type 3. If you look at the end of Wayne Dyer's life, he'd become much more highly evolved as an Enneagram Type 3. And if you look at the spiritual teacher Adyashanti, there's a great example of a very, very evolved Enneagram Type 3 there, not wanting for anything, real being. Hey birds, beautiful, beautiful sky up here. Sweden's, this is an amazing country. Hardly see a soul out here. It's really strange. Hardly see anybody. It's, compared to the country where I live in England, the centre of England, I don't live in the city. I live in a small town, which is quite famous for Led Zeppelin. Robert Plant lives just outside of the town where I live, and John Bonham, the drummer, is buried just outside of Kidderminster, to the west, in a little village called Rushwick. It's a little hamlet, really, rather than a village, I would have said. And there's a church there. And there's just real peace here. There's not a lot going on, except a great deal of being. And I like that. Anything that it doesn't have is a lot of undulation. It's very flat. Very flat. Not quite as flat as Holland, but it's flat compared to where I am. I'll share this with you in the last minute. I'll share. There's 2 banks basically that we have inside of us, and these are the banks of wanting and being. And if you invest in the bank of being, you paradoxically will get more. When you are investing consistently in the bank of wanting, I want more, whatever that is, actually you unattract it. Because if you put out lack, that's what you get back. And so I've been working on myself using all these tools as I work on with all other clients as well, which is all about really investing in this bank of being. So the more that you come into this bank of being, the more it just naturally works for you. Life works for you. It's that less is more, Wu Wei, the Tao Te Ching. It's letting life work for you.